Do I come back? This is how we lost this week.
First 3-0 start in 23 years.
Last week, this is how we lost.
See the leverage jumping over the top.
Leverage.
My team is ruining my life again. And yes, it's the Broncos' problem that I base how happy I am on their game results. Millions of us do. Okay, it's not just me. No leverage penalty this week. Instead, Digger the Kicker just whipped it out and slapped me across the face with it. And I found that especially offensive because he's a devout Christian man. In a game of inches, Bo Nix came up short, and while losing the game of inches is something I am all too familiar with, I don't want to see my quarterback be an inch or two short, like I am when I'm trying to score. Okay, maybe it's 3 inches short, but you get the point. When my quarterback goes deep, I want him to find the spot. I don't want the other team to have the more effective kicker, okay? I drank the Broncos offseason Kool-Aid.
I am flipping the Broncos and the Chargers.
You cannot name a more complete team in the league to me.
Denver is legit.
So much so, I've been sending everyone I know I'm thinking of you cards with $1,000 Walmart gift cards in them to make sure the owners of my team stay fucking rich. And all I got in return was the Jonestown Kool-Aid, but instead of death, I have to watch BOver Throws every week. A 3.5-hour teethy bow job with no completion. I blame myself for giving myself hope that Denver fixed all of its tragic flaws in one drafted offseason. BOver Throw. Denver won the turnover battle, but BOver Throw. The defense sacked Justin Herbert 5 times, but BOver Throw. Denver somehow outrushed the Chargers, even though LA lost Najee. BOver Throw. Denver won the turnover battle. BOver Throw. Typically, you get wins. Instead, we got BOver Throws. Everything was ruined by the godforsaken BOver Throw. Caleb Williams, he completed his flea flicker. Caleb led the league in BOver Throws for the first 2 weeks of the season. Can someone make sure Kevin Harlan is never allowed to call another Broncos game for as long as he lives? That man is the narrator of my personal pain.
Touchdown, Bengals win, and they are alive, and the Colts have won.
And now this bullshit in Los Angeles.
It's over.
I'd rather listen to Gilbert Gottfried with the sinus infection,
cheese sandwich, $1.50,
paired with RFK and Fran Dresser as the sideline reporter than have Kevin Harlan doom us once again. And don't get me wrong, he's great, but he's a goddamn curse. CBS was doing retrographics all day, which felt like taunting, reminding me of a time when my team didn't suck. Denver blew 2 winnable games because of dumb mistakes. It is the new worst game ever, and I just want to know when I'm going to wake up from this nightmare. Somebody wake me up, please. If you like insufferable pain, please subscribe here. We're 11,000 subs away from 800,000. And if I don't get there, what's the point? What's the point of this shit? Also, I hit on Prize Picks. This episode sponsored by Prize Picks. Look, four green lines there. That means I was smart enough to pick all the smart things and win. But my team ruined this for me. It ruined it. Prize Picks support this channel all year, okay? Every 200 signups, it's a big bonus for this channel. And you guys have really been showing up. So if you like playing and guessing in player stat totals, do it at Prize Pick. Plural. Picks, do it at Prize Picks. I know the name of the sponsor, okay? Link in the description. If you don't sign up, after this ad read, they might fire me. I don't know. But your first $5 deposit will get you $50 in lineups. Here's my 1-minute recap. I want this to be the reason people call me the Minute Man and not that very embarrassing other reason. The Chargers jumped out to a 10-0 lead after Justin Herbie hits Quentin. I have the most reliable hands in the league now. Johnston at the 2, Omari and Hampton then walked into the end zone. Denver answered with an impressive 2-minute drill capped by a wide open Courtland Sutton touchdown. After halftime, J.K. Dobbins got the ball 3 plays in a row and he scored a touchdown.
The J.K. Dobbins drive. We just witnessed the J.K. Dobbins drive. A fucking 41-yard rip, an 8-yard run, and then Bo under duress just chucks the swing pass, check down to J.K., and he takes it into the end zone.
The Broncos' best player, Jonah Ellis, peanut punched the ball out on a kick return. Denver settled for a field goal there, but then let all of their momentum die slowly for the next quarter and a half until Bo whiffed on a game-ending dagger to Courtland Sutton that was also open. Sean Payton was too scared to go for it on 4th and short. Denver allowed 10 unanswered points with less than 3 minutes left in the game, waving the white flag, leaving the gooch wide open for Dicker to blast in the game winner. That's what happened. Now, the Chargers didn't have Rashawn Slater. We knew that. Khalil Mack was injured last week. They lost Najee Harris in this game to a bad-looking Achilles and a couple more injuries to their offensive line, and they still found a way to win. They had all of the excuses built in to lose, but they didn't. They're 3-0 now, all against AFC West teams. So, thank you for at least beating the Raiders and Chiefs, Chargers. Also, fuck you. Now, I don't want to make light of Najee Harris's injury. Okay, that's the last thing I want to do. We know it's a significant injury, and I hope he can make a full recovery. That's not what this is about. But the play that had happened, when Najee went down with what looks like the Achilles injury, Justin Herbert did, annoyingly, one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. Najee falls to the ground, Herbert's backpedaling, and just hops over it. Just hops over his teammate that's dying in front of him, and then lasers a pass. Lasers a pass right down the middle of the field like nothing fucking happened. Again, not making light of Najee's injury, but Jesus Christ, Justin, that is badass.
That's badass.
I hate that I gotta say that, Justin. Why would you make me say that about you, Justin? And when I think about Justin Herbert backpedaling, jumping over his injured teammates and firing completions while my quarterback's giving me overthrows. Overthrow. It's just a overthrow. It's just one overthrow. You'll get back. This loss was eerily reminiscent of exactly how we got punched in the dick-nad balls in Indy last week. The Broncos have a late lead. They give it up. They miss 10,000 opportunities to put the game away, and then they're undone at the buzzer by a last-second field goal. Last week, 'twas Indiana Jones whipping the ball up and down the field, and this week it was Justin Herbert fully loaded doing open-heart surgery on the Denver secondary despite having the ever-living piss beat out of him all game. He was sacked 5 times, but I was impressed with the 27 times he seemed to pick himself up off the turf after rifling a completion knowing he was about to get blasted. Imagine seeing the fattest and most football-looking human you've ever laid eyes on laying his body on you every time you step back. But you closed your eyes and you got the completion anyway. If you can imagine that, you're not Justin Herbert, you're actually Bill Belichick's girlfriend. Last week stung because there was a good 5 seconds where all of us truly believed the Broncos had won the game, right?
Good! Denver's gonna win!
This week stung in a more dull fashion, slow burn. We could see this one coming. Last week was like your doctor telling you all the treatments worked and you were disease-free. And then saying, oops, that was my last patient's file. You, sir, you will be dead in 3 months. Your cancer actually has AIDS, and they both are spreading a flesh-eating bacteria all over your body, and it's gonna start at your wiener. This week, it felt like we just declined to be treated at all and accepted death. At least Dicker the kicker had the common decency to stroke the ball perfectly in between the uprights the first time so the referees didn't have to invent a new penalty on the spot to give him another chance. And maybe that's a good place to start on why the Broncos lost. It wasn't the defense. Well, besides that opening drive where the reigning defensive player of the year, Pat Surtain, and Alex Singleton, they completely forgot what tackling was. They seriously just stopped tackling for no reason. But other than that, the defense kept the Broncos in the game. Between that non-tackling stop and Talanoa Hufanga body slamming Keenan Allen, I have to question what Vance Joseph is teaching at practice. Just kidding. I know what he's doing at practice, that sneaky son of a bitch. The Broncos were penalized 10 times from 90 yards in this one. Just 3 flags for the Chargers. Oh, you're that disciplined, LA? Some of the Broncos penalties justified, some of them were just stupid on the part of Denver, like that Hufanga late hit, and some of them were flat out lies by the refs, like Adam Troutman's apparent offside penalty that really hindered a huge drive in the fourth quarter. He was not offsides, and that negated a first down. Garrett Bowles got a face mask penalty a play later, and then Denver's in 2nd and 20 at a crucial juncture, which leads to a 3rd and long, which is just where the offense likes to be for some reason, but another questionable call by the officials very late in the game that went against the Broncos. Yeah, I've got a copy for that. It's called Fuck the Refs, and I hate how much this is very, very real still. Benchwarmershop.com, the world's best coffee. Either way, the Broncos need to be a little more disciplined. If the Broncos were, say, 5% more disciplined, you could argue they'd be 3-0 right now instead of 1-2. And I'd be talking to you like a sane person. If they were 60% more disciplined, they'd be, the 2025 Chargers. Last week it was the defense that let the team down, and this time the offense had the honors of sinking the ship by bringing the bazooka onto the boat and firing that shit off in the bilge. This offense has absolutely no sense of rhythm or tempo right now. They're still struggling to get the ball snapped before the play clock hits 0. They can't run the ball in the first half to save their life, and against the Chargers, they were either relying on big plays to score or going 3 and out with no in between. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound dangerous to you?
Jeez. That is dangerous.
Russ been gone 2 years, but we're still playing like he's our quarterback.
Unlimited diarrhea.
They can't convert on 3rd down. They were just 2 of 13 against LA. Again, it's because they were consistently in 3rd and oh god, we are fucked. And the defense gets no time to rest while LA moves with at least some sense of methodology. The Broncos finally found something in the second half with J.K. Dobbins, and he still only finished the game with 11 carries and 83 yards. 50 of those yards all came on one drive.
The J.K. Dobbins drive! We just witnessed the J.K. Dobbins drive! J.K. Dobbins! J.K. Dobbins.
The J.K. Dobbins drive right after halftime that had Denver up 14-10. 3 plays, all the J.K. and a touchdown. So with Denver, they're going to go back to J.K., right? Wrong. 11 rushes for Dobbins. The Broncos offense only ran 48 plays in this game. That's awful. That tells me you can't sustain a drive and the other team is controlling the game. That, of course, was exactly the case. And Sean Payton said this week he was going to get rookie R.J. Harvey more touches. Harvey ended the game with 2 carries for 2 yards. So, Sean Payton is a very good liar. Just know that. He's a liar.
I thought he's throwing it real accurately, putting the ball in good places.
The running back Denver could have drafted, Omarion Hampton, 19 carries, 70 yards and a touchdown. He wasn't a barn burner, but what's better, 70 yards and a TD or 2 yards? If you said 2 yards, I've got some Cowboys Super Bowl bets I can place for you. Jim Harbaugh outcoached Sean Payton again. Jim Harbaugh, I believe, is now 4-1 against Sean Payton, 3-0 in the AFC West. Jim Harbaugh owned Sean Payton so much, Jim not only remembers his own birth, he remembers Sean's birth too. And they're both 61, so you can figure that shit out. What the hell is the point of spending a mid-round pick on a running back if he finishes a key division game with 2 yards for 2 carries? For that matter, what's the point of spending a first-round pick on a 4th-string corner while the secondary's getting diced up anyway? Why spend that pick on Pat Bryant for him to finish the game without a target? Did he get targeted again? I don't think so, and I said it once before, but it bears repeating. Because half of Denver's free agent hauls are no-shows, and they're getting almost 0 contribution from their 2025 draft class. They were supposed to get better this offseason. Right now, they don't look better. In fact, they look like they took a step backwards from where they were. And why did I start to believe the hype? Am I that stupid? God, am I that stupid? Why am I the way I am?
What's wrong with me?
This offense is so choppy and inconsistent that it forces them into positions where they have to take chances, and sometimes that almost pays off, like a flea flicker that goes off the outstretched fingertips of Marvin Mims because of BOver Throw. A flea flicker? They do a flea flicker. Bo lets it rip. Oh my God! It's in and out of Marvin Mims' hands. Bo Nix jumped when he threw it for some godforsaken reason. You're not in the paint hooping, Bo. Keep your goddamn feet on the turf. Your footwork wouldn't even catch Quentin Tarantino's eye right now. Did Caleb Williams make that throw? Yeah, he did. And you better be careful because Marcus Mariota looked pretty good coming in for an injured Jaden Daniels. Helped the Commanders beat the piss out of the Raiders 41-24. If he can fill in for Jaden, who's a lot better, those Jarrett Stidham calls are going to get loud real soon. It is a copycat league after all. Does Bo Nix have a throwing problem? Well, only if you count the most impactful throws a quarterback can make that are also not that hard of throws to complete. And yeah, he does. Did he trick us with that insane throw to Marvin Mims against the Browns last year? I counted all the missed yards from these BOver throws, and they equated to roughly 130 yards. 2 missed touchdowns and a huge 3rd and 10 that would have probably ended the game. Remember that son of a bastard Kevin Harlan? His words on the miss to Courtland Sutton on that 3rd and 10?
He's got him if he's on target.
If he's on target?
If he's on target.
Harlan knew there was no chance Bo was making that throw. Conversely, with the game on the line, this is what Justin Herbert did. That's fucking nails. We really got the Walmart brand Justin Herbert, didn't we? Both went to Oregon. Both are surprisingly mobile whites. Both are with women who have the last names of things that will get you faded. Madison Beer and Izzy Smoke. Herbert is 3-0 against Nix in the pros, and now we know beer is better for you than smoking. Both will kill you, but not fast enough if you're me watching my team every week. Or sometimes you have a 4th and 1 with the chance to put the game away. And this is what's unforgivable to me. Instead, Sean Payton punts. As soon as Payton sent the punt team out, we got 4th and 1 here. Are we gonna punt it? Come on, it's close. Just put them out of the... Oh, cowards. The final score of the game started to implant itself in my brain. 23-20, 23-20, Lisa needs braces, 23-20. You've got a 2nd-round draft pick at running back, a 1st-round draft pick at quarterback, and you don't trust either of those guys for a handoff or a quarterback sneak to get you a half a yard? Sean Payton had the balls to do a surprise onside kick in the Super Bowl, but he's too scared to go for it on 4th and inches with the game on the line? I believe Sean's suffering from a condition known as testicular football atrophy, when your balls shrink and suck all the way up into your intestines. Chargers fans know about this condition. They too had a great coach who suffered from this condition and got way too conservative late in games. His name was Marty Schottenheimer, and you know this condition is Marty Ball. Singular, because I think he only had 1 ball because of it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Hitler only had 1 ball.
But I haven't seen a 61-year-old that scared since I took my grandma to a DMX concert because I needed an adult to get in. I'm sorry I ditched you after the 3rd song, Grandma, to go get high. But not as sorry as I am for thinking this team would bring me happiness. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here.